Please remember to like, subscribe, and never forget to ring that bell.
Welcome everybody to a very revealing show, The Masked Singer.
I know exactly who this is. God.
What is up, everyone? I'm Chris Knight, and you are watching The Real Review 3000 here with another episode of Unmasking the Masked Singer. And what can I say? In episode 4, it's really starting to feel as if the new production group has got a feel for the overall idea of The Masked Singer and how it should be. And also, we got some very interesting singers, really different in the way that they were just presented and stuff. And, what can I say? That Hydra was just crazy. And also in this episode, I felt what we got as our elimination was a surprise. We'll get to that here in just a minute, but let's talk about the basic overall what happened. First up was Miss Teddy. She sang Tell It To My Heart by Taylor Dayne. And it's always kind of cool when the person who's on the show kind of does a song that's from a former contestant themselves. Of course, Taylor Dayne was Popcorn, and that was really interesting. So what can we say about Miss Teddy? She was excellent, absolutely excellent in that performance. After her was Hydra singing Hey Soul Sister by Train. And again, interesting. Just the costume, the performance, everything was interesting. And I'm not sure if they're being bad on purpose or if they're just really not bad. I mean, I guess it's not bad. It's just not great. I guess that's more what I mean. I'm going to go with more on the side of it's on purpose, because if it's who I think it is, I think they have talent enough to sing better, but I think it's kind of their showmanship about themselves that leads me to believe that it's more just, hey, we're here to have fun and it's fun and games. So we'll see about that. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. Now, after Hydra came the Ringmaster, and her performance of The Climb by Miley Cyrus was just awesome. Awesome. And yeah, if it's who I think it is, definitely makes sense. And we'll get to that here in just a second. The next singer was Lemur, and she sang I Feel the Earth Move by Carole King. And like I said, I didn't really think it was that bad, and her voice really worked for the song. I really thought that. And again, we'll get to that here in just a minute about that. Last up was Armadillo, and he sang Secret Agent Man by Johnny Rivers. And truthfully, he was by far bottom 2 of the night. But what do I know? I guess nothing. Now let's talk about who we think these people are. Let's start off with Miss Teddy. I'm going to go with Jennifer Holliday. Now, let's just run through these as quick as possible so we don't make this video that long. The caterpillar butterfly clue could be referencing her character's metamorphosis and in the Broadway show Dreamgirls she was in like back in the 80s. And it could also reference her struggles with depression and health issues. The Santa clue could be a nod to her last name, Holiday. The Ted bed, the bed clues all work for Dreamgirls. The rainbow is reference to her involvement in the LGBTQ events and fundraisers. The constant reinventing clue works for her because she's done Broadway, she's done R&B, gospel, and has appeared in a bunch of TV series. The director's chair, the men in black fighting in white choir robes, could be a reference to her role as a choir director in Ally McBeal. And that pillow fight could also be referencing her Broadway debut in Your Arms Too Short to Box with God. Not positive about that, but it looks like they're up in heaven, so maybe. Lastly, her waking up on different sides of the bed that she mentioned could just be referencing her song, I'm on Your Side. A lot of it works out, and if you listen to her singing, it matches up perfectly with the way Miss Teddy sang. So I'm really thinking it's Jennifer Holliday. Now, the interesting one, Hydra. Who is it? Is it 3 people? Is it 2? I think it's 2. I really do think it's 2, and I think it alludes to who these people are. Penn and Teller. Yes. Now, first off, it works for their brand of trickery, comedy, all that fun stuff. 3 heads instead of 2, 2 heads instead of 3, whatever. 2 people in 3 heads, all that. It's a trick. It's their brand of comedy and magic type stuff. And not to mention, some few people know what Teller's real voice sounds like, because he's really not a talkative person during their act. Now, you can find plenty of stuff out there on the internet where he does speak, but when they're doing their act, when they're doing Penn and Teller, he's the mute one, except for, like, I guess he's kind of like Silent Bob. Every once in a while he says something, and it's just, you don't know when. Now, let's go to the clues, though. The shark is referencing their Off the Deep End special, where they escaped from from straitjackets in shark-infested water, I believe. The magic clues are very abundant. Magic 3-ball, the mention of cards. The bust away clue is a term to Vegas card games and stuff like that. Their first TV appearances were on Miami Vice, which the skis with Miami on them seem to allude to that. The beach ball with a bull on it could be referencing one of their shows. It was called Penn and Teller Bullshit. Don't know about that. Lastly, the ATM machine seems to allude directly to Teller's name. Automatic Teller Machine. But even if you listen to it, it doesn't seem like them. And I remember when somebody said it to me, I'm like, wow, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. Because Penn's voice is very obvious. And when you listen to the singing, you're like, where's that voice? What is that? And you know, the Muppet clue, I started thinking about that, and I listened to it again. I'm like, you know, it is Penn. It is. It absolutely is. So we're going to stick with Penn and Teller. Now, Ringmaster. Haley Orantia, I think is how you say her last name, from the Goldberg. She's the Erica Goldberg on the show. And first off, if you've ever watched that show, one great show. She's got a lot of talent, but she can sing. She can sing indeed. And when I go back and listen to it, I'm like, okay, it does sound like her. Now, first off, the Hannah Montana and Miley Cyrus clues, they're pretty direct in the reference. She did backing vocals on Hannah Montana Forever, the soundtrack. Then the O cereal could be referencing her last name. The X in the tic-tac-toe board is one of 2 references, I believe, to the performance in the first season, or her first season appearance in the X Factor. The other one is when she mentions to Nicole, it's nice to see you again. Nicole was a judge on the first season of the X Factor, which Haley did perform on, so it seemed to work really well with her. The Sweet Southern Bottle references a song that she has. Haley has a song called Strong, Sweet, and Southern, so I think that really works well for it. Now, the trick here, I believe, is the driver's license with the Golden State. I don't think that's a reference to California for sure. I think it's more a reference to her role as Erica Goldberg. Because here's the other thing. At the end, we see John Oates of Hall & Oates giving her a shout out and saying, hey, you got this. Well, he's been on the Goldbergs. He actually was, I think, the janitor in one of the things, and then it was really cool that he was on there. But Haley and him did a live streaming music festival last year, so I think that's a reference to her also. So I'm going to stay with Haley Orantia. Now let's see here. The Lemur, of course, we know now it was Christie Brinkley. All the references to National Lampoons. It seemed like a dead giveaway, but I want to talk about being voted off. Now that term, voted off. Nothing against Armadillo or Hydra, but she was much better than both of them. I don't even think she was in the bottom 2. So again, I think this is more evidence to the theory that some people come to be on this show for one show or a very short stay, and they kind of just say, hey, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to be here for like, I'll do 2 shows or I'll do 1 show. I'll just make an appearance. And they're voted off by choice and not actual votes. And I really do think it's a shame because how that all played out, because she really did a good job. I think her voice worked really, really well for I Feel the Earth Move. So, you know, I don't know, what can we do about the way they do these things? But it was kind of cool to see Christie Brinkley up there and all those references to the National Lampoon show, movies and all that. That was really cool. Last, Armadillo. Now, I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but I knew the second this guy came up, it was Dwayne Dog the Bounty Hunter Chapman. Now, Dwayne Chapman, let's just put it this way. I heard his voice. I knew. I just knew it. Absolutely. I got to meet Dwayne a few times, and I even know one of his former neighbors that he had in Colorado. I used to do like shows, like lighting and indoor fireworks and stuff for a guy who used to live next door to him. And so a few times we ran into him, and it was kind of cool because he's like, hey, I want you to meet Chris, and da-da-da-da-da. So Dwayne's a really cool guy. But it's like, he is so absolutely unforgettable that when you hear it or you see certain clues, you know who it is. But you want proof? Let's go with the clues. The boots and the sunglasses. Absolutely. These are like 2 mainstays. And I'm not talking about on the show. I am talking about in real life. This guy wears those sunglasses and wears boots almost every day of his life, if not every day of his life. I mean, really, that's about all he wears. So it's so obvious. Now, he talks about being scuffed and bruised at the end of the day. And if you watch his show, if you know anything about what he does, he's chasing down these bail jumpers or these skippers all the time, jumping over walls, going through bushes. I mean, you got to get scraped and bruised and all that from doing that. Now, it's also alluded to with comments of chasing down enemies and wiping out scum. I mean, he is a very down-to-earth guy. If you don't cause him too many problems, he always wants to help people. He doesn't like sending these guys back to jail, so he'll be like, you know what, call me, let's talk about it, let's see if I can help you out, but you know, you gotta work with me here. He's a really cool dude like that. There's references to his names also, the dogs that were in the clue package, and the guy with the bow and arrow looks kind of like a hunter, so Dog the Bounty Hunter. The mountain clue is a reference to his birthplace of Denver, Colorado. If you didn't know, he is from Colorado originally. And the raised in the cave, it could be referenced to the fact that he ran away at age 15 and joined an outlaw motorcycle club. So that kind of raised by wolves in a cave type thing kind of seems like maybe that's what that's referenced to, but I'm going to just say it by his voice right off. So yeah, let's talk about who's been voted off really quick, and then we'll just let you guys have at this. First off, Duff Goldman was McTerrier, and of course, first appearance, no guess from that. The second one was Joe Buck, the Ram. We get that a correct guess. Jorge Garcia from Lost, the Cyclops. That was a wrong guess. We said Michael Roker, so we're 1-1 there. And then Jordan Malata was Thingamabob. We did guess that right. That's 2 against 1 wrong guess. And then Christie Brinkley, of course, first appearance, no guess on that. So let's see who these people are. Let's see who gets voted off next. I'm going to go either Hydra or Armadillo, honestly. Because Ringmaster and Miss Teddy, they're the top of it, and I don't know which of those are going to win. It's going to be really interesting. I'm not even going to take a guess on that right now, but I'm going to say probably next will be Armadillo, then Hydra, but I'm not sure. It's going to be one of those 2 next, and let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you think these people are. Give me everything you think about it down in the comments right there. Smash that like button, all that fun stuff, and thank you for watching, because I am Chris Knight. This is The Real Review 3000, and I'm officially out of here.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and never forget to ring that bell. Follow Chris Knight and The Real Review 3000 on these platforms. For email and Patreon, see the description box below. To reach the ego, use the Twitter handle at TheEgo5150. We would like to thank the generous members of the Real Review 3000. Those members are JJ, aka SithLord3827, Anzo of Biggerford Entertainment, Yvette, Sean Stackhouse, Captain Trek, Jesse Ritchie, and Abraham Morales. Thank you for your support and donations that help us at the Real Review 3000 bring you, the viewer, better content. For information on how to become a member, click the join button below.